Now we have seen several concepts in continuous and discrete time signals. Let's solve some questions, some basic questions on different topics. I'll start from the scratch so that everything is very clear to you. First type of problem that you'll see is you won't get these as questions, but now whenever you will be working on any function that is particularly related to signals and systems, you'll often be required to convert this e j theta into cos theta plus j sin theta. This you know. So you'll be having questions. You'll be said, for example, half e to the power j pi. You'll be required to express it in this form, Cartesian form, okay, or polar form. So how will you do that? Let's say this is your function. So how you'll express it in this form? So this will be equal to half e j pi means cos pi plus j sin pi. Now what is cos pi? You know cos pi is -1 and sin pi is 0. So what you'll get? Minus half. So when this function is expressed in this form, you get, when this function is to be expressed in polar form, the value is this. Then let's see if we have some good question. For example, this one. Your function is √2 e to the power minus j 9 pi by 4. Now this can be expressed like this: √2 cos minus 9 pi by 4. So minus cos minus theta is cos theta. So this will be cos 9 pi by 4 plus j sin minus of this. So this will be minus, because sin minus theta is minus sin theta. So this is sin 9 pi by 4. Now let's see, 9 pi by 4 means, if you do this, 2 pi plus pi by 4. See, 4 to j 8, 8 plus 5. So this is 2 pi plus pi by 4. So in this system, if you add 2 pi, you know, this is the time period, fundamental time period. So you'll have this value, whatever be the value of sin pi by 4 will be the value of sin 9 pi by 4. Okay, so this means it is √2 into cos pi by 4 minus j sin pi by 4. This is 2 pi plus this. So this is √2. What is cos pi by 4? It is 1 by √2. And what is this? It is again 1 by √2 sin pi by 4. So what you get is 1 minus j. Similarly, now you know this e j theta is cos theta plus j sin theta. So if you have in this form, if you have a given function in this form, let's say 2 plus j3, what you'll have to do, you'll have to find what is theta. And what we do, actually it is r e j theta, that is r, this one. Okay, so what you have to do is, you have to find r. What is r? You know very well. R is under root this square, that is, if this be, let's say this is your x plus jy. So what is r? R will be x square plus y square under root, and theta will be tan inverse y by x. So what you need to do is tan inverse 3 by 2. This will be your theta, and root over 2 square, 4 plus 9, that is root over 13. This will be your r. Okay, so the value will be root over 13 e to the power this j theta. So this way you can convert from this form to this form also, exponential form also. We have seen how to find the value of E infinity, that is a signal which the signal from minus infinity to infinity. So what is the energy of the signal, the total signal, and P infinity, that is from minus infinity to infinity. We have seen this. What was the expression? This was limit in continuous time signals, limit this minus t to t. This was mod xt square dt. This was the expression for energy. And this was also, or you could express it like this also. Since this is infinity, you can write it directly, minus infinity to infinity xt square dt. This was for E infinity, and for P infinity, it was simply averaged, that is 1 by 2t this. Okay, so we know how to find E infinity and P infinity for continuous time signals. For discrete time signals, if the signal is xn, how do we take E infinity? It is limit n tending to infinity, summation n equal to minus n to n xn, that is your signal, square. Or if you just remove this, it is n equal to minus infinity to infinity plus infinity, and power was limit n tending to infinity 1 by 2n plus 1. Okay, and then n equal to minus n to n, this expression. You know this? Now we'll see some examples and get this concept cleared. So let's see some examples. First example is, we'll see 3 questions on continuous time and then 3 on discrete time signals. Xt is e to the power minus 2t ut. This is your signal and we have to find e infinity and p infinity. What is the meaning of ut, step input function? You know this, ut means it is 0 for t less than 0 and it is 1 for t greater than 0. The simple meaning is that the signal will be, if this is equal to 0, the signal will be beyond this only. Below this, it will be 0. This is the meaning of unit step function, whatever the signal, because this function is this only, 1. So the signal, if this signal is this, it will be beyond 0 only. This is the meaning of ut. Now, we know what is E infinity. E infinity is basically minus infinity to infinity, your xt square dt. We can write it like this, minus infinity to infinity, e to the power minus 2t into ut square dt. Or since this is ut, you know, below 0, the function will be 0. So this integration will change to 0 to infinity. And this will be e to the power minus 2t square, that is e to the power minus 4t dt. Okay, so this is reduced to this. Now let's say, what is the integration of this? If we integrate it, e to the power minus kt integral is e to the power minus kt by k minus kt, sorry, not kt, here we have 4t, so this will be by minus 4 and the limits will be 0 to infinity. Okay, so what do we get? When this is infinity, this is 1 by e to the power 40, so this will be 0, because 1 minus e to the power 40, 4 infinity, this will be 0. So this is 0, minus, minus, plus, minus, because this, it becomes minus, plus, and then this is 0, so this will be 1, so 1 by 4, so e infinity is 1 by 4. Okay, now let's see what is P infinity, power, that is power, average power in one cycle. You know, it is limit t tending to infinity 1 by 2t minus t to t, again this thing. Okay, so this ut will make it 0 to t, and this can be reduced to 1 by 2t, this is 0 to t e minus 4t dt. Okay, or we can say limit t tending to infinity 1 by 2t, this is e to the power minus 4t by 4 minus 4, 0 to t. Okay, so what it is? It will be limit t tending to infinity 1 by 2t. The first value will be minus e to the power minus 4t by 4, and minus minus plus 0, it will be 1 by 4. So this is the value. Let's see. Now, when t tends to infinity, this will be in the denominator, so this will be 0, and this is infinity. So 1 by 4 by infinity, that will be 0. Clear? This will be 0, so 1 by 4, 1 by 4 by 2t. Again, t is infinity, so 1 by 4 by infinity is 0. So p infinity is 0, while e infinity is 1 by 4. Now let's see second example. Second, it says xt is equal to e to the power j 2t plus pi by 4. So we have to find what is e infinity and p infinity. Now this seems complicated. But what is the value of e to the power? We can say this is e to the power j theta, where theta is this. Okay. Now, what we have to take? We have to take mod square of that mod. And what is mod? Mod means if we have ej theta, see, this is mod of ej theta and then square. What is mod of ej theta? It is this, cos square theta plus sin square theta. Whatever be theta, this will be 1. So this is 1. Clear? So this is xt square will be 1. Now we'll take the value of E infinity and P infinity. See, E infinity will be minus infinity to infinity. So this will be dt, that is minus infinity to infinity. This is 1, so this is simply t dt. So this will be t from minus infinity to infinity, and you know the value will be infinite. Okay, so this is E infinity. What about P infinity? This will be limit t tending to infinity 1 by 2t minus t to t. This will be 1, so this will be dt. What you will get? Limit t tending to infinity 1 by 2t, and this will be t minus t to t. Now this will be t minus t. So 2t cancel. So this will be 1. So average power per cycle will be 1. But since average power per cycle is 1, the energy in the entire signal will be infinite. Okay. Now let's see third one. Here our xt is cos t. Okay, and what we have to take? We have to take this mod of this square. That will be mod of cos square t. This will be 1 plus cos 2t by 2. Okay, so we'll be using this expansion. Okay, so let's find out what is e to the power e infinity. This will be minus infinity to infinity mod of xt square dt. That will be, I just derived, it was 1 plus cos 2t by 2. So I am taking it out. Okay, dt. What is this? This will be half. What is this? The value will be t. If you integrate this dt, it will be t, and this will be sin 2t. Sorry, t by, no, not by, just here, sin 2t by t. Okay, and the limits will be minus infinity to infinity. See, this is t. So what value will have? Infinity to infinity. Okay, so we have E infinity as infinite. Now let's see P infinity. P infinity will be limit t tending to infinity 1 by 2t. This is minus infinity to infinity, and we just saw this is 1 plus cos 2t by 2 dt. So we can write it like this, limit t tending to infinity 1 by this out, so 1 by 4t, and we'll have t plus sin 2t by 2. Sin 2t by 2, the limits will be minus t to t. So what we'll have? We'll have limit t tending to infinity 1 by 4t. When we'll put t, it will be t plus sin 2t by 2. Then minus t. So this will be again plus t. Then minus this. So again this will be plus. Why? Because this will be sine of minus theta will be minus sine theta. So this will be again sin 2t by 2. So what we'll have? We'll have, this is 2t plus twice this one. So I can write like this, 2t and this. Okay. So this is what we'll get. Or you can say this is limit t tending to infinity. This is what? 2t by 4t. So it is simply 1 by 2, and this is sin 2t by t. Now understand this properly. This expression is free of t. What about this? Sin theta lies between minus 1 and 1, so it has a definite value, while this is tending to infinity. So this will be anything between minus 1 and 1 by infinity. So this will be 0 and this is half. So your average power per cycle will be half, while infinite energy, E infinity was infinite. Clear? Let's see discrete signal now. We have our signal xn as 1 by 2 to the power n un. You know what is un? Like ut, unit step function. un is 0 for n less than 0 and 1 for n greater than 0. So if a signal we are taking summation from minus infinity to infinity, when this is multiplied, it will be from 0 to infinity only. This is the only meaning of multiplying with a unit step function. So let's see E infinity. What it is? You saw it was n equal to minus infinity to infinity and then mod of this xn square. Okay, so we have xn as this function 1 by 2 to the power n un. So this is square. Clear? Now if we want to take this, what we'll have to do? Just from 0 to infinity. So you can rub it. So now our function is this. Next, this is 1 by 2 to the power n to the power 2. So this will be 1 by 2 to the power 2n. Okay, 2n. Or you can say this is 1 by 2 square to the power n, that is 1 by 4 to the power n. Okay, 2 we have used. So this is the value. Now see, this is from 0 to infinity, and if mod of r is 1, the expression for this, that is n equal to 0 to infinity, and you have r to the power n, it is given as 1 by 1 minus r. This is progression. So what we will write? We will write 1 by 1 minus 1 by 4. So this is 1 by 3 by 4, that is 4 by 3. Okay, so our answer is E infinity is 4 by 3. What will be P infinity? Let's see. P infinity is, you know, limit n tending to infinity 1 by 2n plus 1 n equal to minus n to n, and this is xn square. This you know. Now we can come to the point where we have it was 1 by 4 to the power n. This will be from 0 to n. Okay, here our limit will be from 0 to n, not to infinity. This is 0 to n because this was from minus n to n. Because of un, it becomes 0 to n. This is clear? So what is this? When mod of r is less than 1, if this was from 0 to infinity, you know that is 1 by 1 minus r. But if it is from here to here, then the value is given as 1 minus r n plus 1 by 1 minus r. Okay, this is from progression. You must have studied arithmetic progression, geometric progression, harmonic progression. So what do we get? We get limit n tending to infinity 1 by 2n plus 1. This will be 1 minus 1 by 4 to the power n plus 1 by 1 minus 1 by 4. This is the value. So it has, now when, see, this is 3 by 4. When n tends to infinity, this is infinity. So this will be, since this is less than 1, this will be almost 0. And this is 3 by 4, so this will be 4 by 3. So the value will be 4 by 3 by 2n plus 1, where n tends to infinity. Since denominator we have infinity, the value will be 0. So average power per cycle is 0. Okay. Now next question is, fifth one is, your xn is equal to e to the power j pi by 2n plus pi by 8. Okay. Now again this seems very complicated, but you know what we have to take? We have to take this mod of this and then a square, and mod of this will be e to the power j theta. Again that will be root over cos square theta plus sin square theta, that is 1. So this will be 1 as we saw in continuous time signal. So this is 1. Okay, so let's see what is E infinity. E infinity is n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity, and this is xn square, which we just saw is 1. So this is 1. So 1 from minus infinity 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 up to infinity. So the value will be infinity. So our overall energy will be infinite. What about P infinity? It will be limit n tending to infinity 1 by 2n plus 1 summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity. This will be xn square. So this is 1. What is the value? Summation n equal to minus n to n. This is xn square. This you know is 1. Okay, so what will be this? You know, in discrete signal, I have told you if this is minus n and this is up to n, this minus this, if you take n minus minus of n, it will exclude this signal. So what we do? We take up to minus 1 of this. So this will be minus n minus 1. So this is n plus 1. So this is 2n plus 1. So 2n plus 1 by 2n plus 1. So the value will be 1. Okay. Our next sixth one is xn is given by cos pi by 4n. Cos pi by 4n. When you will take a square of this, because you have to take mod and then a square, so it will be cos this, square of this, that will be 1 by twice of this, that is cos pi by 2 of n by 2. This you know. So we'll use it. Let's see how to find E infinity. This is basically n equal to minus infinity to infinity. This x n square you just saw, it comes to 1 plus cos pi by 2 n by 2. Okay. Now what is the meaning? The first part will be half and then second part will be this one. So from minus infinity to infinity, you know, if you leave this term half plus half plus half up to infinity, this will be infinity. Okay. What about P infinity? It will be limit n tending to infinity 1 by 2n plus 1, and this will be n equal to minus n to n and this will be 1 plus cos pi by 2 n by 2. Okay, you have this value. Now let's see, this is limit n tending to infinity 1 by 2n plus 1. What about this? This will be, the first term will be half of this, that is, we can say we have two terms, n equal to minus n to n half, and then n minus n to n cos pi by 2 n. So we have these two values. Okay. Now let's see the first value, this value. This value we saw, for 1 it was 2n plus 1. So this will be equal to limit n tending to infinity. This will be half of 2n plus 1. So this will be half, where we don't have any term in n, and this will be limit n tending to infinity. This will be something cos pi by 2 n by 2 and 2n plus 1. Not here, it will be this side into 1 by 2n plus 1. Now see, this, if you have a summation, this will lie between minus 1 and 1 only. So this function is between minus 1 and 1 by this, where n tends to infinity. So something between minus 1 to n by infinity, that will be 0. So this term will be, this term is half and this term is 0. So average power will be half. So we have solved a lot of problems on E infinity and P infinity for continuous as well as discrete time signals. So you should practice these questions for your examinations.